So hello and welcome to round 4 with Eldrazi and Taxes. Budgety decks. Budgety modern with real decks. Budgety modern with real decks. That's what we're calling it. And we want to go first, yes. This hand is really slow and doesn't have a vial. Not going to keep it. If we knew what we were playing against and I knew that those two paths were going to be really good, then maybe I would have kept that. But those two paths with nothing to follow them up is pretty bad, and no 2-drop there. We're going to keep this one. It's also not exciting, but if we find a temple, quite good. And we don't really need another displacer. Let's just put that at the bottom. Caves go. We would much rather have a 2-drop. And it's Tron. We do have a Ghost Quarter, so all is not lost. But we have no play, and we're going to have no play again on the next turn because they're probably going to play another Tron piece. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yay! No plays forever. Stopping on their draw step to make sure they don't have Tron, and then continuing to not do anything with our turn, which is terrible. This is a play that you kind of have to make against Tron, is you just have to Ghost Quarter them on their draw step so that they don't cast a Karn on you on turn 3. But when we didn't do anything on turn 2, and again we didn't do anything on turn 3. Oh, they are not Tron. They are Eldrazi Tron. We still have to keep them off Tron, but this is even worse. I guess you just always go for the tower. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but what are you going to do with that colorless land that you just, colorless mana that you just put into your pool? What are you going to do with it? Woof. I mean, Displacer is very good against E-Tron. So we got that going for us. And we bricked on land, so cool. Budgety modern with real decks. Let's scoop this one. Ooh. Alright, well, Stony Silence is good against them. I don't know if we want to bring in all 4, but at least 3 are good. Fatal Push can kill. What's his nuts? Thought-Knots here. The Thalias are not great, but they're okay. They block Matter Reshaper pretty well. I don't really like them. I think I'm going to board them out. And just go all Stony Silence. I think basically our game plan is Eldrazi Displacer and Stony Silence and Path. Maybe Fatal Push is good. It does kill Thought-Knots here. Does kill Thought-Knots here. But that's about it, right? Like, I don't really want to Fatal Push Matter Reshaper, and I don't want to Fatal Push anything else, really. So I think we're just going to stay with the paths. Yeah, we're going to keep it. That Shambling Vent's a little awkward, but we're going to start out with Vial. And hopefully we draw another untapped source later. Alright, round 4, game 2. Eldrazi Temple Expedition map. Well, that's a huge bummer if we don't draw a land here, because we do have an Arbiter, which is really good against Expedition map. But of course, Shambling Vent is hurting us here real bad. Bummer City. I guess if they don't crack it right away, which they might not. Sometimes opponents forget that Ether Vial on 2 means Arbiter, and they might just let us tick it up to 2. They did. Alright, they let us tick Vial up to 2, and we're gonna blow them out when they go to crack E-map. So that's awesome, and we get to play another Vial, which, I mean, isn't the best, but it's fine. Alright, go for that E-map, buddy. And we're just gonna throw that Arbiter in play. Got him! Cha-ching! Lion King. The king of the lions. So yeah, if you're playing against Death and Taxes, remember, play around Arbiter. Don't get blown out. Don't let them take their Vial up to 2, because they will blow you out. As evidenced right there. It's part of the sweet plays you can do with this deck, is why I like Death and Taxes a lot in general, but especially Eldrazi and Taxes, because you get even more sweet plays you can do. Another Arbiter is a fine play here. Even though holding up Path may be better. Yeah, maybe I should have held up Path. Although, no, I guess we can just take their Temple. So we didn't need to hold up Path. Yeah, on end step here, I'm just going to take their Temple. That way we got them on a faster clock. They didn't have a land last turn. If they don't have a land again this turn, then they're really low. They're digging for a land. They didn't find one. And now the game's basically over. We can take that up to 4 if we want. I guess on 3 is probably better. And yeah, now we get to activate and take their land again. At which point they probably scoop. At 11, we're not attacking for 11, so maybe they won't. But we're definitely taking their land. One more time. Another sweet play you can make here is just mana denial. So I'm just like blinking Flicker Wisp and taking their Eldrazi Temple until the end of their turn, because we're doing it on our end step. In order to do that, you have to set a stop on your end step. But it's a really sweet way to interact with your opponent in a really dastardly mana denial kind of way. Yeah, they scoop. Yeah, our hand was pretty good there, and we blew them out because they didn't. And it's all because they didn't crack the Expedition map before we had a chance to take Vial up to 2. So remember, kids. I'm not calling you guys kids. But remember, friends. Even Mind Sensor is good, and we should play it. They do have some searchy searches. And we do play Ghost Quarters, so even Mind Sensor should probably be in our deck. Mirror Crusader is not great here, and it can easily get cut. Alright, that's our change. Game 3 against Eldrazi Tron. This hand is sweet, we're gonna keep. We have turn 2 Eldrazi, turn 2 Thought-Knots here, plus Stony Silence. Turn 2 if we want to do that instead. Alright, Stony Silence might be too late. Gonna start with the Ether Vial. Sucks when Stony Silence is too late. Oof. Pithing Needle on Ether Vial, okay. Wow, they did that instead of... They did that instead of Crack Map? Alright, now we have a tough decision here. We can Stony Silence, we can Thought Knot Seer, or we could just hold up Ghost Quarter. The fact that they didn't E-map means they probably have Natty Tron. So I think we have to just Ghost Quarter. The problem with that is then they E-map and they get it anyway. This is tough. I mean, even if they have Tron, they might not have anything to do with it if we take their card with Thought Knots here. Mangara is it can be really good, obviously, but it's mostly just a really slow O-ring. And honestly, I would rather just play O-ring. If you want to do Mangara stuff, just put an O-ring in your sideboard. O-ring still works really well with Flicker Wisp, and you can still do, yeah, I mean, dirty things with Flicker Wisp and O-ring. Same thing with Mangara, but I prefer O-ring, honestly, because it does it right away. Mangara, you have to cast him, put him in play, and then they have a whole turn to deal with a 1/1. So I really don't like Mangara very much. I think O-ring's better. In this situation, I think we just want to Thought Knots here, because this way we can see what they got. Mangara hits lands, probably, but it's so slow. Yeah, they don't have it. Alright, well, we're going to take Worm Coil, because it's the only good card they have. And be pretty happy about that. They didn't have Tron. That's weird. I'm really surprised that they went for Pithing Needle when they didn't have Tron. My opponent's playing kind of strangely. I'm really glad we went for the Thought Knots here and not the Ghost Quarter or the Stony Silence. Although the Stony Silence would have been fine there too. They drew Eldrazi Temple and they're just going to cast. Alright, so we know what their hand is. It's Power Plant, Ghost Quarter. And now we get to Stony Silence that. That's awesome. That was a really good series of events for us here. Concealed Courtyard. Stony Silence. Do we attack into the Matter Reshaper? That is a good question, huh? Do we attack into Matter Reshaper? I definitely think we play Stony Silence first in case they hit a land so they can crack E-map. But I do think we attack. We need to beat down. They have nothing going on. And they get 2 draw steps if we attack here. But they can't do anything that crazy. Their best draw is probably... Oh, Ratchet Bomb's okay, I guess. Oh no, Ratchet Bomb's terrible. It can't be activated. Stony Silence is out. Alright, friends, we got there. Hoping that they would hit a useless artifact when we attacked. Feeling pretty good. There's the Ghost Quarter. Did they draw another Matter Reshaper? That's not so bad. So they have a Power Plant in hand. They can't crack E-map. Ghost Quarter doesn't do much right here. It's possible Mangara hits lands, Tyler, but it doesn't make it better than O-Ring for me. I do actually really like O-Ring with Flicker Wisp. Really powerful. Yeah, we're gonna take it up just cause. pathing the Reshaper doesn't make sense since we can path whatever their good card is that they draw into. The only thing we're really worried about at this point is Karn, and they're pretty far off of Karn. So yeah, let's just attack. See how this goes. They keep getting block draw card, which is fine. Ooh, Warping Whale. That's really good against their Flicker Wisp, and they can cast it. They're probably going to just make an Eldrazi Scion. Warping Whale's annoying. Play Ghost Quarter. Controlling lands is so important sometimes with this deck. Yeah, sometimes, but I'd rather play like Aven Mind Sensor and Leonin Arbiter, which you already play, than Mangara if you want to control their lands. Aven Mind Sensor is just a much better card. If you're worried about land destruction, just play Mind Sensor. And if you're worried about permanence, then just play O-Ring. Mangara is just, I mean, you can try it. Feel free to go ahead. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to try it. But I just don't think it's very good. I did try it many times in different versions of the deck. And yeah, I was really unimpressed. But, I mean, you might find some good uses for it. And yeah, I mean, obviously it with Displacer is really good, but Blade Splicer and Displacer is really good too. So yeah. Make a 1/1 Scion, sure, and they have just a power plant in hand now. Yep, I know about that. That's cool that we got them to use their Warping Whale, so now we can just cast... Actually, if they draw their own Thought Knots here, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't cast... No, they can. They can cast Karn next turn. I guess we're just gonna cast Flicker Wisp here. Target Thought Knots here. Take a card if they draw one. If they draw anything relevant. And then we have a pretty fast clock. And a path in hand. Walking Ballista. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it's the card we're gonna take here. It is like a 3/3 or something. We took the random 3/3. And they drew into a Matter Reshaper. Okay. I think it's about time to path Matter Reshaper. The problem you have with the deck is you think Blade Splicer... I don't actually play Blade Splicer in my version. They don't think I play a Swamp. Alright, well, I do. I agree Blade Splicer's not always great, but in some matchups Blade Splicer's insane. And it's never bad. I definitely wouldn't call it the worst card in the deck. It's never bad. It's always at least okay. I do think we want to path the Matter Reshaper, even though it's like we really only worry about Karn and Reality Smasher at this point. I guess Ulamog if they're playing that. And the 5/5 Endbringer. I guess those cards are all really good against us. So I guess we hold the path. They get another redraw if they're Matter Reshaper, but I guess it's okay. Or they can double block. Alright, yeah, so we'll path now. Yeah, yeah, let's path that. That works. I don't know why I didn't expect the double block, but that's fine. They didn't get to draw. What did they draw? Played their power plant, and they scooped! Alright. Woo! Got there.